My name is Ariana Smith, and I'm an English Opens Doors program volunteer. I was a nurse at a clinic, and I worked in a community program for low-income pregnant women and infants before I came to Chile. I was in Chile for about 3.5 months. I was placed in San Antonio in the Valparaiso region. Well, like you mentioned, I did this program back in 2008, and I had a wonderful experience. Basically, I was looking for a way to get back to Chile again, and I knew that through this program I would be able to stay for a more extended amount of time. I would have a community of family and friends, as well as something to do here. I kind of wanted to assess for the possibility of finding something afterwards in Chile as well, but I knew that this program would give me kind of a foot in the door and something really cool to do while I was down here. I think that having done the program before, I know that the results can sometimes vary. Everyone has a different experience in the program, and so I knew going into it that it would depend on my attitude about where I got placed, the school I was placed in, my attitude with the family, and I can say I had a wonderful time. I think it at least met my expectations, or really exceeded my expectations. I knew it would be great, I knew it would be wonderful, and it really was. I think that it's more organized for sure, and I don't remember receiving as helpful of an orientation the first time around. I think that I had a more realistic idea of what to expect after the orientation this time around regarding the English level of the students, what a realistic lesson plan might look like versus something that's too difficult for the majority of Chilean students in municipal schools. Well, fortunately, I didn't have too many problems to really need support. I did have a little bit of trouble figuring out how to obtain my visa, and what I can say about EODP is that the workers here seem to respond really quickly and follow through. Like I said, in the country I really didn't have too many concerns, but if I got a phone call from somebody and they said, "I'll email you," they emailed me. And usually if I ended up talking to someone on the phone, they just assessed the general, well, how's it going? Anything else that you need to talk about? So definitely very willing to help and supportive as far as the EODP staff. Well, San Antonio is, from what I've heard, the largest port city in Chile, and it's not exactly a resort city. It's more of a working city. So a lot of large ships and the containers that bring all kinds of products. So it's a mid-sized city, and I felt like very safe and comfortable in the city overall. I thought it was a great place to live. One of my big hobbies is running, and so I got to run by the ocean in San Antonio. I head out to some other nearby cities, and I really enjoyed living there. It was really great. My host mom works in the kitchen at the school, and my host dad was also in the picture, so host mom and host dad, and then 2 kids that were 13 and 9. And so it was really fun for me after living independently for a number of years to get to be part of a family again. I really enjoyed talking with my host family. They love to tease me, and there's a lot of joking that goes on. I had some special times, especially hanging out with my little sister, walking around town or playing at the little parks, and they definitely included me in family activities. It was really great. My host mom took me to Zumba a couple of times, and so that was, I can't say I found that on my own, but we did that. And then I played soccer a couple of times with the teachers from school. And let's see, other than that, like I said, I really enjoy running, so I did that on my own. But nothing else outside of that, really. It's the people. It's hard to explain, but it's, in Spanish, cariñosos. They're very caring, loving. They are concerned for your happiness and for your comfort and safety, and they really look out for you and for each other. And one thing I really noticed off the bat was that everyone shares. So if I need something and someone else has that, they're going to help me out. And in the same token, if I have something that somebody else needs, they might ask me to help them out too. It's a very community-oriented culture, and I think the people are what really makes it a special place to be. I am very pleased with my experience in the public school I was in. I couldn't decide if I wanted to work with high school students or with younger students, and it turned out that I got to do a big mix of both. The school I was at, Movilizadores Portuarios, goes all the way from pre-kinder up to cuarto medio, so the little kids all the way up through the end of high school. And it was wonderful to see the whole age range, from the littlest kids running all around to the older kids that were about to graduate. I can't speak for all the public schools in Chile, but I can say that the behavior at my school was fairly well controlled, that we really didn't have too many issues. And the kids were so friendly with me. I think that one of the best things about the program is that even if you may be having a bad day or feeling homesick, the kids are going to come up to you and just treat you like you're royalty. And it makes you feel really special. Definitely, I think even though I have a fluent level of Spanish, sometimes relating to some of the staff of the school could be a challenge, just feeling like I fit in that way. I think another challenge is being able to plan lessons that are at the correct level for the abilities of the students, especially when there are varying abilities of English within the class. Those are a couple of challenges I experienced. And more of a personal challenge, I think, was at the beginning of the service. I felt like it was very long time that I had to go, and then somewhere in the middle, towards the end, all of a sudden I realized that the time was running out and I didn't want to leave. I think it was realizing how much the students enjoyed me being there and enjoyed talking to me by the end, and how attached we had become to each other. It was very rewarding, I think, to be able to work with students, and even to feel like you're making some kind of a difference to them or an influence on their lives. It's a strong sense of having a privilege of touching so many lives. I think that it's impossible not to grow from an experience like this, and also to become more confident. I think the greater your ability is to adapt to new situations and to be flexible, that's going to be helpful in whatever further career you decide to pursue. So I feel like it's made me a stronger person in that sense. Hopefully, just less anxious about unknowns. It's also made me more confused about my direction for the future, because it's impossible not to leave part of your heart in Chile. So I think that it's hard, because you really grow to love two different worlds. So it's no doubt it will help me in whatever I decide to do in the future, but also it's challenging for me, especially because I love Chile so much. I think being part of the family it's hard to say between family and school. They were both really great experiences. They both felt like family in a way. So really the personal connections I made to the people I saw on a regular basis. Tomorrow I'm going to Peru, and I'll be there for about 12 days, go visit Machu Picchu, hang out with some friends, and then I'm planning to head back to the States for Christmas. And I actually have an interview at my old job a couple of days after I get home. So we'll see if I can convince them that I would like to stay there. I have to convince myself first, so we will see. I don't think you can go wrong in this program. If for some reason you end up in a circumstance that's just not working, you do have the support of EODP that's going to help you find the correct place. You will need to have a good attitude. You will need to be flexible. You will need to come into the program knowing that you're there to teach English, and the more you put into it, the more you will get out of it. If you're willing to invest in the lives of your students and your family and your community, you will not go wrong. When I was thinking about it, well, as far as life circumstances, I know a lot of the people who come to do this are just transitioning out of a school or university setting, so that's a good time to do it. But I left a professional setting just because I wanted to do something different. And so, actually, part of the reason why I do these things is because by nature, I don't think that I'm a very flexible person or someone who likes to get out of my box. So I do it because I need to, and I think it's important. So I wouldn't say you need to be a really flexible person, but you need to want to be that kind of person, and you need to be willing to learn and to grow. Give it your all and keep your head in the game. I think that's one of the things that hit me early on was I felt a little bit tired. I felt like there was a long ways to go, and I started counting down the days and the weeks, and before I knew it, I was right at the end and I couldn't believe it was time to go already. So keep your head in the game. Know that it will go by quickly. Every day is an opportunity to have a good day. Sometimes you need to bring that energy into the classroom, or you need to overcome some kind of discomfort in your life, but take advantage of that situation. Use it as an opportunity for growth, because it will pay off for you.